My name is Olivia Bennett, and I'm 25 years old. I live in a serene little town called Arrowtown, tucked away in the stunning South Island of New Zealand. It's one of those places that looks like it came out of a postcard. Rolling green, hills, cobblestone paths, and friendly faces that greet you with a smile, even if they don't know your name. I wasn't born here, but this place became home the moment I arrived 3 years ago. Originally, I grew up in Wellington, the bustling capital. I loved the energy of the city, the lights, the movement, the sound of waves crashing against the harbor. But after finishing nursing school, I craved something quieter, something more personal. I wanted to go where I could truly connect with people, where I wasn't just a name on a chart or a rushed voice behind a desk. And so, I applied for a nursing position in Arrowtown, and got it. That decision changed everything. My days begin early, always before the sun. I wake up at 5:30 a.m., stretch for a few minutes, and then open the curtains to welcome the crisp morning air. There's something about the way the sun peeks through the mountains that fills me with peace. It's like the earth is slowly breathing, and I'm waking up in rhythm with it. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and then head into the kitchen to prepare my favorite breakfast, a warm bowl of porridge with honey, cinnamon, and fresh blueberries. Some mornings I add a splash of almond milk and a handful of walnuts. I sip on green tea while I check the weather and scroll through my messages. At 6:30 a.m., I grab my backpack, say goodbye to my dog Milo, a lively golden retriever who always tries to sneak out with me, and begin my walk to the Arrowtown Community Health Center. The walk takes about 15 minutes through peaceful paths lined with old trees and cottages. Sometimes, I see the same elderly man sitting on his porch feeding birds. We always smile at each other. My shift starts at 7 a.m., and each day brings something new. One day I might be monitoring a recovering patient, and the next I'm helping deliver a baby or comforting someone who just received difficult news. It's emotionally intense work, but also incredibly fulfilling. Every person who walks through our doors carries their own story. Some are afraid, some are hopeful, and many just need someone to listen. There's a special patient I'll never forget. Mrs. Whitaker, a 79-year-old woman with late-stage cancer. She didn't have any family left, so I became a constant presence for her. We talked about everything: her childhood, her dreams, her regrets, even her favorite songs from the 60s. She passed away holding my hand, and I remember whispering to her, "You're not alone." That moment reminded me why I chose this profession. After work, I usually head home around 3 p.m. unless I'm on call or staying to help. Home is a cozy 2-bedroom house I share with my younger sister Ella, who is 21 and studying veterinary science. She's a whirlwind of passion and curiosity. Our kitchen is often cluttered with her books, notes, and sometimes odd items like animal anatomy models or herbal medicine samples. We laugh a lot. She's the type to dance while cooking or talk to our plants like they're old friends. Living with her makes life lighter. Sometimes we bake together. Our current obsession is lemon muffins, and talk about our dreams. She wants to open a holistic pet clinic one day, and I believe she will. Our parents live about 20 minutes away in Gibston Valley, on a small vineyard surrounded by lavender bushes and apple trees. Mum, whose name is Margaret, is the strongest woman I know. She worked as a midwife for 30 years before retiring. Her advice is always honest, even if it's not what I want to hear. Dad, or David, is a soft-spoken man with a loud laugh. He tells the best stories, long, winding tales that somehow always end with a lesson. Sundays are sacred in our family. We gather at Mum and Dad's for dinner. Mum usually makes roast lamb with rosemary, and we sit around the table sharing stories from the week. It's those moments, the simple, grounded ones, that remind me what matters most. I've always believed that friendship is the heartbeat of life. My best friend is Zara Patel. We met during my first week in Arrowtown. She owns a small bookshop and cafe called The Corner Nook. It smells like cinnamon, old paper, and coffee, my favorite kind of perfume. Zara is vibrant and witty. She talks fast, dreams big, and wears mismatched socks like it's a fashion statement. We spend many of our evenings together, whether it's hiking along the lake, binge-watching medical dramas, or sitting in the cafe long after closing hours, talking about love, fear, and everything in between. I also have dear friends at the clinic. Nina, our receptionist with a love for crossword puzzles, and James, one of the doctors, who always brings a sense of calm even during emergencies. We often support one another, especially after a tough case. In our field, emotional fatigue is real, and friendship becomes a lifeline. I think of myself as compassionate, deeply empathetic, and a little too hard on myself. I tend to take my work home with me, not physically, but emotionally. If a patient had a rough day, I carry that weight in my heart. If I made a small mistake, even if no one noticed, I replay it in my head for hours. One of my weaknesses is impatience. Not with others, but with myself. I hold myself to high standards and feel frustrated when I fall short. I'm learning, though. I've started writing in a journal every night, just a few lines about what I did well and what I need to let go. It's helping me become gentler with myself. On the bright side, I'm also incredibly organized. I plan my weeks with color-coded notes, meal prep every Sunday, and keep my house spotless, probably to maintain a sense of control in an unpredictable job. In my free time, I love reading, especially medical memoirs, historical fiction, and poetry. My current favorite is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi, gardening, especially herbs like basil, mint, and lavender. Long walks by Lake Hayes, especially at sunset. Listening to acoustic music, I adore the sound of a guitar and soft lyrics that tug at the soul. Cooking. I've recently perfected my lasagna recipe, which is now a family favorite. I also volunteer at the local animal shelter once a week. There's something healing about helping creatures who can't speak, but express everything with their eyes. The joy of seeing a dog adopted or a kitten find a warm lap is immeasurable. Despite all the good, there are things I struggle with. I don't like rainy days. They make me feel lethargic and unmotivated. I also don't enjoy loud places like crowded bars or noisy events. I get overwhelmed and anxious. I prefer the soft hum of a cafe or the hush of a library. I'm also not fond of rude or dismissive behavior. In my work, I see people at their most vulnerable, and nothing breaks my heart more than watching someone being treated without respect. Lastly, I struggle with waiting, whether it's waiting for test results, a decision, or life to unfold the way I hope. I'm learning to be patient and trust that the timing of things has its own wisdom. In the next few years, I hope to join an international medical team and travel to underserved areas in the Pacific Islands, offering healthcare and education. Specialize. in palliative care, where I can support patients through their final days with dignity and warmth. Continue my studies. I've enrolled in an online course about trauma-informed care. Write a book, maybe a memoir, or a collection of stories from patients who've touched my heart. Adopt a child someday, if I don't start a family traditionally. I believe in giving love where it's needed. But more than anything, I want to live a life of meaning. I want to show up every day with courage, kindness, and humility. I want to make people feel seen, heard, and cared for. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. So that's me, Olivia Bennett, a nurse, a sister, a daughter, a friend. A woman with dreams bigger than herself, a heart full of hope, and a soul shaped by compassion. I believe life is less about reaching the top and more about how we lift others on the way. I've seen how a hand on a shoulder, a smile, or simply being there can change someone's entire world. And now, I'd love to hear about you. What brings you joy? What do you dream of? What's something that made you stronger? Who do you love, and how do you show it? Thank you for letting me share my world with you. I hope, in some way, it touched your heart. Thank you so much for watching Olivia's story. If her journey touched your heart, inspired you, or reminded you of your own path, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it today.